How would you like to have this fall in your shelter at camp? Hello everyone, this is Robert again coming at you with another video. Well, in this video is going to be about having an emergency hurricane blizzard shelter. Now, right at the beginning of the video, I have this big branch right here, and that you noticed it was right up on that tree, and it's about, I'd say about 12, maybe 15 feet high. Now, this branch was dead, but the rest of the tree is still alive. So I mean, I can't even lift this. This is like real heavy. So, now this, I don't even think there was high winds when this fell down. It was just dead, and it finally split off from the rest of the big branch that it was connected to the tree. I mean, this didn't even need a big wind to break off. And this hasn't been broken off for, I'd say about 3-4 weeks. And right now, it's across the path. So I mean, if you were walking down the path and this thing broke, you'd probably get hit if you didn't hear it cracking before. So, in this video, I will be going down to my second camp and showing you a big tree that fell long before I even found that camp. And that probably came down during a big windstorm many years ago. Then I'm gonna go show you a big huge rock. I mean, this rock is probably about 12 feet tall and everything, and real big. I mean, it did split at one part and break off, but at one part there's a big overhang that you can get underneath, and you can be protected from any big fallen branches or trees that get uprooted and fall. I mean, like this past week, Hurricane Dorian went through the Bahamas, Florida, and went up north and into Canada. Luckily here in Rhode Island, we didn't even really get much rain even. Maybe a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, because the hurricane was more out in the ocean, so we got lucky over here. But usually, if hurricanes do come through and you're in the woods camping out, and all of a sudden a windstorm rips through the woods, or if you're in the wintertime and all of a sudden a blizzard hits with 40-50 mile an hour winds, you're gonna be having big branches like this coming off the trees, and probably trees uprooted. So you have to, when you're at your camp, you have to look around at other possibilities of an emergency camp, just in case a big storm comes through and you have to abandon your regular camp. I mean, from my camp to that big rock that I would go to for an emergency shelter, that's probably about 500-600 yards. But once I get on this path, all I have to do is follow the path, go by the potty place and by the cemetery and go down this other off trail and to get to that rock. So I mean, with a flashlight and a lantern, I can navigate right down this path, no problem. And during a windstorm, you're gonna want to kind of hurry up and get to your emergency shelter. Unless you have an emergency shelter right next to your regular camp, which would be like a big huge rock with an overhang that you can hide under. But I'm gonna go show you that big tree at my second camp that would potentially take down a cabin at least, even. I mean, this tree is big and you'll see how big it is. This branch would probably, it might take down a lean-to. This would probably take down a lean-to if it broke right above it. And you would have to be prepared. So let's go to my camp, my second camp, and show you around. Now, how would you like to have this big tree fall in your camp? Now this big tree was falling down long before I found this area. Right behind the camera is my camp, where I spent my 2 nights, and my teepee frame still up. But look how big this tree trunk is. And it's a big tree. It goes past this border wall, like way in there. Now I'll bring the camera, set up the camera over there and show you how it fell off, like how it broke and everything. Now you can pretty much see how big this tree was. Now this tree uprooted. I mean, this is a big rock right here. So maybe it didn't have much support on it after it got that big. But it rotted and then it uprooted on a heavy wind. So this tree's been down for a very long time, a lot longer than I set up my camp over here. But imagine this tree, a tarp shelter, it'll take it down easy. But even if you have a wooden frame, A-frame, like a very sturdy wood A-frame, this would definitely still crush your A-frame, or your A-frame or lean-to. Even if it's a very sturdy lean-to with big logs, this tree would take it down no problem with you in it. Now I'll go up like halfway down through the woods and stuff pretty much, and show you my option for an emergency hurricane shelter. In my opinion, that big outcrop, I mean that big block, that big bowl, I mean it's huge. It's like probably like about 7, 8 to 10 feet tall, maybe even more, and it's very big, and it comes out a little bit for an overhang. So I'll bring you over there and Go check that out. Okay, you're trying to get to your emergency hurricane shelter because you had to abandon your camp, but you lost your way a little bit. You know you're on the path, but you know it's around here somewhere, but where is the path that you get up to it? So you put a yellow marker ribbon on a tray, or orange marker ribbon on a tray on the left side of the path, so you know it's going to be on the left side. So if you have it on the right side, you would probably put it right on that tree because the path is on this side. So put it on the right hand side of the path. So then you know your shelter is over that way. So then you have that one, then you have that one right there. So, and you go right up there. You just have to make sure you pick up your feet so you won't trip on branches and shrubs and everything. Now, if you remember that from my earlier video of my bear alert can, and then I came up here. And saw this big rock formation. Now, if you get right in there, then you have that overhang. Man, maybe not. I mean, the best thing to do is go right underneath here and try to make some kind of, or sit there or something. Because this big piece was connected right to that. You can see a big crack right there. So that could come down. Take a look around on this other side. Yeah, I'm not too sure about in here or not, something. I'm not really too sure now. Because after I saw that big crack, I don't think in here would be a good place. Because if that decided to fall, it's going to come right on top of this, and you may be pinned right in there. Okay, so this is my view from underneath this pot. Maybe if I tuck in here a little bit more. you would have to clean out all these rocks over here and everything. But I'm pretty much completely under this. Then there's that big piece of rock right there. I don't know, maybe if you duck in right underneath there. I mean, water would run off that way. Because I mean, this is pretty much an uphill. Not too sure if you can really see that. But it kind of runs that way. So if you're tucked in underneath this rock, I mean, this rock isn't cracked or anything. So doesn't seem like it's gonna break anymore. And even if that other big rock comes down on this, nah, I'm not too sure. But I mean, this is a possible emergency hurricane shelter right here. Duck right underneath there. You're pretty much blocked from the wind, unless the wind is coming from that way. Then you'll have to put a tarp or something over here to block the wind. And you will be protected from any falling trees or branches when they start coming down from the heavy winds. You see that tree right there? That's pretty far away from here, but that's still a live tree. And it came down. So any one of these other trees can come down on with a heavy wind, like 40, 50 miles an hour winds. Now, I decided to lean this fallen sapling down on the rock because this is where the rock overhangs. So I'm gonna crawl inside there because the other shots that I took before this one, it looked like I was more in the open. But from this angle, hopefully you'll see how deep this would go. Now this is a good arm and a half length, or even 2 arms. So I have a good arm span between this fallen sapling and the back wall. So that's how deep it is, but from the other shots that are coming up, it doesn't look that deep. It looks like I'm more in the open, but I'm not. Well, I mean, if you kind of get right over here to this tree right here, you probably tie something from here to somehow on this rock around here, so you can block the wind from here maybe. Clean out some of these rocks, maybe even put like a raised bed right underneath here. I mean, just put a raised bed with like some logs and some sticks going across, just to keep you up off the ground and up off these rocks, because the terrain is kind of like not even. So have the raised bed already here, so when you do need this emergency shelter, you already have the bed made up. So all you have to do is put your top or something, whichever the way the wind's blowing, and you can get out of the weather. Either if you get trapped in a hurricane or a blizzard. Because even this past year, a blizzard came through and the winds were like 40, 50 miles an hour winds, gusts. And they didn't just howl, they roared. It sounded like the wind was roaring through. So it was pretty scary. I mean, if you're in the woods and you get trapped in a blizzard like that, yeah, you're gonna want something like this to protect you from falling branches and trees. I mean, not too sure about really under here, because this rock come down, then the water will come down. I mean, if you're right here, the water is going to be coming from here and here, and maybe in front of you, unless it travels down the rock down here. But that's what you're going to have to think about when you come running to your your emergency hurricane or blizzard shelter. But I may even, I don't know, I may even do something with this rock outcrop or whatever. I may do something with this area, possibility, but for now, I gotta get working on my other camp. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video of preparing yourself preparing yourself with an emergency hurricane shelter in case you have to abandon your regular camp. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on my next video. This is Robert. Thank you for watching.